And thank you for wearing your team's colors. It's really nice. For an engineer's mind, it's very compartmentalized, so I appreciate it. So yeah, thank you for waiting. We're still figuring some things out, but it should all be good. We just want to have this as smooth as possible and short and sweet. So well, I want to start and see how are we all feeling? I wasn't expecting you to have so much energy, and I was gonna say, come on, I know you're tired, but you guys are already here, so that's awesome. So, welcome to the official closing ceremony of Launch Canada 2023, everyone. So, as you can notice by what I'm wearing, compared to the opening ceremony, this was an interesting day. It's an interesting week for a lot of us. We were on the pad for the last launch was the launch attempt was at 2 p.m. So we just came back, and so we're going to keep this short and sweet. And I'd like to start with a quick recap of the week, because it's nice to take a time to sit down and smell the roses and remind ourselves of what we just went through. So we have teams from all over Canada. We have teams from Victoria, UBC, McGill, all across the country, really driving, even days to get to here. I think this is far for everyone, but further for some. So I just want to have a round of applause for the teams that drove all the way here. And congratulations, and thank you for making it here. So we then had a conference, 2 days, where we got to share our work with the other teams, with the community of Timmins, presented the next stages of our propulsion methods, our flight computers, and I had a blast of hearing all of your work, all of your work and all your research and all the next steps. It's really awesome, honestly, from my point of view, to see all that you're doing and get an idea of what Canada is working on. And honestly, it's fantastic. So thank you very much for that. We then, started our launch week. We had 12 solids, 4 hybrids, 2 liquid tests. It was amazing. For a second iteration to this competition, there was a lot of rockets, and that was really cool. And we're hoping to see it grow and continue. We also got to inaugurate a new test launch site, so that was awesome. And thank you all for paving the roads with us, literally with your pickups. So that was nice. And yeah, we had some problems along the way, from breaking oil pans to being in the rain, but that is part of it, and that is the fun of it, because we are engineers, we are scientists, we are STEM people, and we like finding solutions to our problems, so we welcome these problems. And now we're here, after sleeping on couches, on the mud, and with t-shirts so dirty they can literally stand by themselves. We are here, and I don't know for you guys, but I'm feeling great, because we get to conclude this in a beautiful way with everybody here, as one big family. And so we're here to celebrate that week, congratulate our friends and colleagues from other teams, and commemorate some beautiful Canadian rocket launches. So congratulations, everyone. But we're also here to commemorate some challenges. It wasn't easy, and like I said, it's part of it. And both the teams and us, we've learned, and we will improve next year. Iterations are always better, and that's part of engineering, is that you can always do things better, and that's fantastic. Rocketry is all about optimization and getting the end of that curve, even if it's not necessary, but we still like to get it. And so, thank you for your support, and thank you for your feedback on having to have our very own rocket competition in Canada. It takes a lot of effort, so thank you all. And thank you for being so proud to launch the North. And so congratulations to all of you for all your success, for being here, for all your efforts and your sacrifices. And tonight we get to celebrate, so the hard part is behind us, and now just sit and enjoy. And so to celebrate, I'd like to share a little recap of how this week was. And you can see how in tune this team is that when I'm exactly at the point where I'm about to show the video shows up. So frankly, beautiful. And I just want to say, we had amazing, I know Adam is... All right. So this is literally fresh out of the oven. It was made 3 minutes ago. Rocket teams and rocket competitions have a lot in similar. And all right, let me know when you're ready. We have a second salvo in 2 minutes.
Zero, you gotta sing it.
Yeah, we're going to change igniters just to try again. Oh, all right. And that's why you have backups. Wow. Thank you, Kaylin, for that. That was very nice. So I wasn't lying when I said this was going to be short and sweet, because we are already at the next stage of this presentation. So what is almost even more amazing than the video is that all of these videos and all of this event and all of you, it all started with a vision, a conversation, and a very, very stubborn person. And so everybody, if you allow me, I would like to give a warm welcome to our president, our very own Launch Canada president, Adam Trumpor.
All right, well, thanks so much, Cyril, and thanks to all of you. This is just the second Launch Canada competition we've ever put on. We were in a brand new venue, brand new city, brand new community, at a whole other scale, unlike anything we've ever tried before. And it was awesome to have all of you here working as hard as you did and making this the success that it was. So first of all, tremendous thanks to all of you who took part in Launch Canada. We do this for you to hopefully give you all a really memorable and valuable experience. So thank you for being a part of this. And as we all know, there are a whole lot of moving parts in rocketry, and putting on an event like this really isn't much different from building a rocket itself. Lots and lots of things have to go right to make it work. And this week, everything that needed to go right really did. We could not have asked for much better weather, notwithstanding maybe the extreme temperature swings and a little bit of rain, but that's kind of to be expected. We had some incredible projects. We had the largest liquid rocket in the country, 3 liquid rocket test attempts. We had flights, we had hybrids, we had 3 certification flights, EEL1 certifications. This was a new thing for us, but in the future we will be doing more and more of this. And of course, we had a lot of the features from last year that everybody liked so much, including dancing Klingons and wild blueberries literally everywhere. So it was definitely a sign that we were in the right place when we found that there were blueberries all over here as well. And really, it could not have gone much better that way. But I think the thing that stood out for me the most this last week was the sense of community that really comes from all this. I heard from a lot of people that this event almost felt more like a family reunion than anything else. And I can say it really did feel like that. Both with teams, in many cases, some familiar faces meeting each other again for the first time in a while, and less familiar faces coming out for the first time. On the volunteer side, it was awesome seeing so many people who have been involved with Launch Canada for as long as they have, coming out from as far away as Germany to be here. And I think that that community aspect really is part of what we're trying to focus on here with Launch Canada. And the community aspect really was aided immeasurably by the welcoming response of the local community here in Timmins and at the Matagami First Nation, who were our hosts for the launch site. They'd been supportive as we got everything together, but the level of support that I know I encountered this week was beyond anything I could have imagined. From the coolest fire department in the world to Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources firefighters airlifted in by a helicopter who just enjoyed the heck out of the entire experience, to mysterious little old ladies in the forest helping recover rockets across a lake. The event really has been a genuine community, and Timmins and Matagami really felt like home. So that's something that I know I appreciated tremendously, and I need to give my deepest thanks to the City of Timmins and to the Matagami First Nation, and to Chief Boisonneau in particular of Matagami, and Tim Harvey from Matagami, who worked absolutely tirelessly for months and months to help make this possible. So big round of applause for our hosts, please. And I've also got to thank Jason Michaud and Stardust Festival for being a big part of the reason why we find ourselves here in Northern Ontario. They really kicked off this relationship, and it's been absolutely awesome seeing how this has evolved. And it feels like we have found a genuine home here, and I will look forward to being back here for many years to come. So for you, I hope you've all had a fun week, and I hope it's been a learning experience for you. I think we as engineers tend to get really focused on the technical side of what we do, but of course there's an awful lot more to making a rocket fly or an engine fire, especially when you've got to truck it across a continent and set it up in a sand pit in the middle of a forest. These are things that you don't always necessarily appreciate until you've gone through them. It was awesome seeing the way that many of you have improved since last year. Last year we had 1 launch on our first day. This year we had 7. We had 6 launches on our second day of flying. So the improvement from all of you has really been clear this year, and that was awesome. Keep that up. Keep going. As you all go home at the end of this long and tiring and occasionally sunburning week, I hope you carry with you a lot of lessons that will stick with you, a lot of positive memories. And that sense of community, that sense that you are a part of this larger group of Canadian Rocketeers trying to do something really special here. I would also want to remind you that this competition is not where it ends. This is just the start. Over the year ahead, we're going to have our ongoing Launch Canada special projects, our turbo pump, so there are lots and lots of ways for you all to stay involved with this. Of course, our new competition cycle will be starting again in September, so you can look forward to that as well. And just like this year, we sort of trialed our first EEE L1 certification flights. Going forward, this is going to be a regular feature of the event. So don't think of this as just a place for student rocket teams. You can come get your own certification flights, take part with your own projects. So like I say, this is a community, and we really mean that in the broadest sense possible. So thank you all for making this event the success that it was, and we will all look forward to seeing you back here for Launch Canada 2024. But I have to give a few very special thanks as well to many of the people and organizations who made this possible. You guys have all been really making a name for yourselves in rocketry in this country, And for a very long time, not a lot of people understood that we could even do this kind of thing in Canada. That has completely changed, and there are a lot of organizations who were here, sometimes in person, sometimes in spirit, to support this event and to support you all. So I want to start by acknowledging Pratt & Whitney Canada, our lead sponsor for this year. We really could not have done this without them. So big, big thank you to Pratt & Whitney. Also, of course, have to thank MDA, who have been with us since our first competition last year, and they were out in force this year as well. They're Canada's largest space company, and it was a real pleasure having them back as we carry on with this journey. Also need to thank Maritime Launch Services, who were really heavily involved with us this year, even though they weren't able to be here in person for this event. We partnered with them for a rocket launch in Nova Scotia just a couple months ago, and they really stepped up their support. So, so big thanks to MLS as well. Other sponsors that I need to acknowledge are both sponsors for this event itself, as well as the other projects that we run throughout the year. So I want to give a big thanks to ICOM, who sponsored us with the radio gear that was absolutely indispensable when we were operating on a site like this. They really stepped up, so huge thanks to ICOM. Also need to thank Softenway, EOS, Carter Bearings, Daishon, True Gear, Nordspace, Randon Research, Telegistics, American Earth Anchors, CEL, SSSOC, Mauser Electronics, Reaction Dynamics, MapFab, Spaceplace Canada, ProCase, and the Canadian Space Society. Some of these organizations were here because they understand the talent that you all represent and wanted to get to know you. Others are makers of products that support this industry, but all of them really were united in the belief of the things that you guys are all collectively capable of. And it was a real honor to have them supporting this event. So huge thanks to our sponsors. But an event like this is so enormous an undertaking to put on that it really could never have happened without probably the best team of volunteers anywhere. And you know, Launch Canada has always been really fortunate to have some amazing, dedicated people supporting it from the very beginning, and that's just continued to grow this year. So I want to acknowledge a couple individuals in particular who really went above and beyond and played leading roles at the event this year. So because safety first, I want to send a big, big thanks to our range safety officers, Shane Wetherill and Frank Nobile. I want to thank our LCO and Voice of Launch Canada, Chris Hobbs. And our launch ops team, the Davids, David Lefrancois and David Bueller. Our hybrids team had to contend with some of the most complex projects at the event, and they did so admirably, even in the face of the occasional challenging circumstances. So big thanks to Zach Harrison, Peter Tarley, and Jess Kulishov. And then on the liquid side, you know, it's not easy trying to create an entire liquid rocket test range in a matter of days out of a clearing in the forest, and that would absolutely not have happened without the incredible support of Mark Hassenflug and Max Kopstein. The logistics of putting on an event like this, from everything from making sure the stuff we need gets rented to making sure that people get fed, is really, really challenging. And Matt Ho and Maddie Patron really went out of their way to make this a success. So huge thanks to the logistics team. And then there's the challenge of finding rockets in dense forest and bog and lakes and all the other terrain that we have to contend with here. So without the efforts of Zach Tepper and Alain Olsen, that would not have been possible. So huge thanks to the recovery units. Of course, we also want people to know about the things we do here, and we want all of you to have some good memories of the week that occurred. So our live stream team went above and beyond to help make that happen, and they really stepped up our live streaming efforts this year. So huge thanks to Kaylin Babenko and Jordan Burley. And although he wasn't able to be here, I've got to send a big thanks to Marc-André Chartrand as well, our head of social media, who has been working tirelessly from afar, well, Montreal anyway, to make sure that we publicized everything that was going on this week. So big thanks to Marc-André. And then, because this is, of course, a rocket competition, we come to the competitive part of the event, which was handled so admirably by our trio of head judges, Karina Sepelnikova, Mitchell Passarelli, and Robert Bernard. So can I just ask all of our volunteers to stand and get a big round of applause for all the volunteers who made this all possible. And one more special thanks that I've got to add. Something we really wanted to do last year but didn't really have the bandwidth for was stepping up the outreach activities, because we want to make this an event not just for all the students who take part, but also for the local community. Last year, we were really limited in our ability to do that, but this year, I think we really went above and beyond, and I've heard so many really good things about the outreach from the event this year. And we have several volunteers who really did a phenomenal job at making all that possible. And so I want to send a huge thank you to Ilaria Hobbs and to our MC extraordinaire, Cyril Manny, as well. So before I turn things over to our judges for the part of the ceremony that I'm sure you've all been waiting for, I need to present a very special award. Last year, the Launch Canada team completely surprised me with the Adam Trumper Award for Volunteerism, those sneaky, wonderful people. This year, I come into this actually knowing about that award, and it's something that really means a lot to me, mostly because we rely so heavily on the dedication of our volunteers, people who don't have to be here but choose to really pour in their time and energy to make this happen. And you all see the end results here, but putting on this event is a year-long process. It is every bit as challenging as developing rockets is. There are just as many curveballs that come at you all along. and the team who fights through that and gives so freely of their time to make it possible are the heart of everything that we do. So this award is where we have the chance to recognize those exceptional contributions. I also love this award because it's chosen by the volunteers. So we invite our volunteers to nominate people who they feel really exemplify what Launch Canada is trying to do and go above and beyond. And the results this year were really interesting. First of all, we had an enormous number of nominees, which was great to see. That's exactly what I like. It was a really difficult choice, and in the final analysis, we ended up with a perfect two-way split. So I was debating what to do about that, whether I play tiebreaker or something else, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that these two individuals represented maybe slightly different sides of the competition, but they really both went above and beyond to an almost unbelievable extent, both for this event, but also for the whole year leading up to it. So we've got two winners for the Adam Trumper Award to announce, and I'll start with an individual who has been a stalwart supporter of Launch Canada almost from the beginning. He was a leader of his rocket team when he was a student, and he promptly got involved with Launch Canada after graduating. And throughout our various special projects and our competition last year and this year, he's been massively dependable the entire way through. So it gives me great pleasure to give our first Adam Trumper Award for Volunteerism of the Year to our conference director and hybrid pad lead, Zach Harrison. So, not so fast, Zach. Now, we do have plaques for our winners, but the plaques are still being made. But I wanted to give you a little something else as well. We got these really nice Wildman rocket kits. And so I'd like you to have one of our Wildman kits for your L1 certifying pleasure. So our second winner is somebody who has consistently gone above and beyond to help us planning our launch operations. Whether that's modeling the drift of two-stage rockets coming down under parachute in Nova Scotia, to planning site layout after site layout, to rolling with unpredictable wind conditions or site conditions. This event genuinely would not have been possible without the tireless efforts of David West, David Bueller. I didn't think that David would get quite so much out of an L1 rocket, but I heard a rumor that you are a whiskey fan. So got you a little something that might be worth your tastes.
So what's the two words of the day? We're gonna have to amend that now that we're out of the thing. So it's go fast. Go fast. So thank you. I just want to say there's a lot of volunteers making all of this stuff happen, and it's just not myself or Zach or anyone. Matthew Ho comes to mind as being one of those other ones, Dave LaFrancois, these guys put in a tremendous amount of time to make all of this stuff happen. So while it almost feels like a selfish award, I've got something I could share, which is great. But one of the things I judge at the Canada-wide Science Fair, and you know, it's same as this. It's long hours of work. You got to go through all the sheets, but in the end, it almost comes down to the same thing. When you guys see you watching the rockets go up, and the cheering and the smiles, and the bigger smiles when you bring it back, it's the same as what happens with the kids that are grade 10 to 12 when they're getting their rewards up there. So it never really dies. So keep the kid in there, keep things happy. This is good.
Well, and on that note, I'll pass things over to our head judges for the part that I'm sure you're all waiting for.
Hi, everyone. You guys make my job very difficult. But the first thing I want everyone to do is please just give a big round of applause for all the attending teams. Okay, I'd like to start us off with a little story. So once upon a time, a little school called the University of Alberta decided to build a rocket and go on a road trip to Timmins, Ontario. The rocket flew, it landed, and a brave team of students went to find it. Following the GPS coordinates and a nice paved path laid before them, they stumbled upon this. Yes.
So fun. Gorgeous. Okay. The rocket. Wait, where's the boat? Oh, the rocket's over there. In the trees. I am narrating for my video. We're at this beautiful beachside resort. Oh yeah. I love that view. It's looking great. It's way over there.
Whatever can they do? Do they swim? Do they have to get some scuba gear and go hunting for the rocket? Do they hire a helicopter to go to the other side? Do they have to build a bridge? I don't know. What happens next?
It's beautiful.
I guess they found a boat. But did they find the rocket and make it back?
Good job, you guys.
It was in a dead tree that we could literally. It was in a dead tree and we could literally.
I'm filming this whole thing. You guys get lots of pictures?
Yep.
Oh man.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
oh
you
my
so
goodness.
much.
You are an absolute lifesaver.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
It's engineering.
Oh, God.
oh wow.
All right.
I was in the trees.
How's payload looking?
We got the chute down. It was in a tree. And
We
we're like,
saw
"Oh,
it
we're gonna
moving."
We could get
Kick
it
the
back."
tree
So
down.
And Igor's like, dude, it's just coming up to the roots. Just push it.
Well, we saw the drogue shoot and heard the drogue
It
section
should
come
not be
down.
on the
And they live happily ever after. So, to University of Alberta, the U-Star team, we give our new Gnome Award for a fairy tale recovery. It's very important. So the next award goes to a very hot team who have allowed the Launch Canada personnel and the fire department to demonstrate that we can safely mitigate risks associated with innovative rocketry. And so the next fire they built, they can put to helpful use as well by making some s'mores.
Sorry.
Next, I'll pass it to Mitchell.
Thank you, Karina. If you couldn't tell, this is the part where we get to hand out the fun awards. So, the next one comes to actually, despite the proximity to water, it seems that there was only one team that managed to get a bullseye in the drink. And to that, we present one of our splashdown awards to the University of Waterloo. We hope the pool noodle will be able to keep your rocket afloat, just in case next time you land in the drink as well. The next one is a little bit more of a serious note. It's our Launch Canada Spirit Bear, which goes to the team that we think, as the judges and the volunteers, has most represented the spirit of the competition, the sense of community that we all share, and has gone above and beyond our expectations to try and help those around them and other teams in need. And this year, we're proud to present the Spirit Bear to Carleton University for their tireless dedication to assisting Ontario Tech with their recovery operations on not one, not two, but 3 different occasions. Sorry. It's a photo op if you want.
If you want to take one.
Cool. Now, we wanted to give out a few more of these fun little gag awards, but unfortunately we just didn't have the time or resources to grab some more of these creative little fun ones. But I did have some honorable mentions. Most vehicular damage goes to Mock. Or you know why. You know why. Biggest batteries goes to ATS, who apparently got a GPS lock a day after they launched their rocket. Apparently it was more than 24 hours, so I don't know what you put in those batteries or how big they were, but dang. I wish I had batteries that could last like several days off the pad. Fastest recovery apparently goes to Queens, who had a recovery time of like less than an hour. Yeah, and I think they're actually tied with UVic, who gets closest to the pin because their GPS lock was only like 20 meters or something away from their actual rocket. So the other 2 I wanted to mention were the most perseverance. Of course, there are always going to be some logistical challenges with volunteers. We try our best to minimize them. And UBCO came out all the way from Okanagan to set up and jump through a bunch of extra hurdles. And even when half the team disappeared, they still pushed onward to try and launch their rocket. So I don't know if they're still here, but you guys have a level of devotion that I think every team should strive for. And the last one I wanted to give was to, for the two-man army who set up a liquid rocket engine at the liquid pad and ran igniter tests like clockwork, to UBC for the two-man army award. I have no idea.
Man and woman.
Yes, man and woman. The two-person army award. Because, yeah, I don't think Karina and I could do that on our own.
Challenge accepted. Next, we'll pass over the microphone to Adam to present the basic category awards.
All right, so the first set of category awards is the basic category. And there was a lot of competition for that one this year. So as Karina said, you did not make the judges' jobs easy with this, but that's how it should be. For this award, we have some prizes very graciously donated by CTI. So I will fulfill a promise to them and wear this hat as I present the three basic category awards. So in third place, we have the University of Waterloo with a rocket that they managed to turn around in record time. And after years of being a dedicated hybrids team, following Spaceport America Cup, they made a complete category change to a basic launch with the goal of further validating their recovery system. So it was actually a really innovative way to stay in the competition while doing something that's actually useful and hopefully having a fun experience. So third place, University of Waterloo. So we've got not only the trophy for you, but CTI also kindly donated a Pro 29.
Small ones in the front. Come on. You're hiding. Come over.
So in second place, we have a team that has come an incredibly long way. This team started out last year with a whole host of challenges they needed to overcome from the time of their flight safety inspection. And over the course of the week, they worked tirelessly and they actually got there and got off the rail. This year, the improvement in the team was really visible, and it was awesome seeing just how far they had come. There were no pipe straps used on this year's rocket at all. I was actually a little bit disappointed at that. But in case you haven't guessed, at this point, the winner of second place in the basic category and a complimentary Pro 75 reload of your choice is University of Alberta.
Awesome.
Sorry, no Pro 29 for you. And as it happened, a couple of teams in this category do have a bit of a theme going on of turning around some challenging flight results from the Spaceport America Cup. And just when we questioned whether they would even be able to field a rocket for Launch Canada, they really came through and managed to fly. So first place in the basic category for this year goes to Queens. So in addition to their trophy and Pro 98 reload, CTI wanted to offer another little prize for first place as well. So Queens, you also have a guided tour of Cesaroni Technologies to look forward to, and I'm told there might even be a static firing of a really big solid rocket motor. So we'll connect you with CTI, and they'll be very happy to arrange that for you as well.
They already sponsored us.
Right, back to you.
So next up, we have the advanced category. So in third place is a team that actually didn't make it out of sight because they had road incidents because they didn't slow down. It's actually the University of Toronto. So in second place is a team that I really enjoyed marking. I think they had a lot of really innovative things in their rocket. And we are very happy that at Launch Canada we had no surprise tornadoes. So the second place is a McGill.
Testing the limits of the zoom lens.
And another team which has really worked tirelessly on the rocket for many years and have come to Launch Canada for the first time last year with a rocket that has separately flown a couple of times before, but never together. So the first two stage in Launch Canada 2022 and the first nominal flight second stage in Launch Canada 2023 to UBC. Hand it off to Mitchell for the final category of tech development.
Thank you, Karina. So with only 3 teams here, it's a little bit, it almost feels kind of redundant, but it's hard. I want to specifically say that it was hard assigning these point values. The amount of work that 3 teams put into these tech development projects was immense. Some of them, you had the full range of scales from tiny little motors to absolutely gargantuan motors that dwarf the Rutherford. But we still had to kind of assign first, second, and third place. And as I mentioned before, one of the teams was comprised of just 2 people. And I'm happy to announce that UBC, with their liquid engine tech development project, came in 3rd place this year at Launch Canada 2023.
I can use the same photo again.
The next team it impressed me right away with what appeared to be the ease of setup of their design, where it looked like most of it made its way somehow into the conference center. Well done. I don't understand how you can make such a compact package that you can throw in the back of an SUV and drive it onto a site, plug it in, and start doing all of your checks. And this team has undergone a bunch of rebranding, I guess, over the last few years due to their university changing names. But in 2nd place this year for the tech development category is Mock. So I have something nice written, or that I would like to say about the team that got 1st place in the tech development category, but I think you guys have already figured out who they are. So should I even bother? Nah? Nah? Well, for having the biggest freaking engine that I've ever seen in person, and for running extraordinarily smooth operations, hauling a trailer from Quebec all the way here, and having to replace a part on their test stand due to damage that occurred in transit, we award 1st place for the tech development category to Space Concordia.
Cool.
I just want to say, guys, that from the judging side and from the organization side, we've learned a lot from having this technology development category. So it was our first time juggling like liquids, hybrids, and solids at the same time. So I think we'll really be looking forward to seeing how we could do this better for everybody with coordinating and with really accommodating the more challenging projects that are starting to come to this competition. We'll probably have some feedback forms from you guys also available regarding your Launch Canada experience and what we could do better. So I'm really happy that we did this for the first time. It's really exciting to see this happening in Canada, and you guys should all be really proud, and let's see how we can make it even better next year.
Also, just for reference, we're going to be compiling all of the scores into nice formatted sheets and then sending it out to you guys so you guys can see exactly what we're kind of scoring and how we evaluated different things. That way, it's not just blind feedback as to, oh, well, this team came in first, second, third. You'll be able to see that kind of score breakdown. And of course, it's always going to be evolving. Karina and I have been working, and the judges that helped us, we're trying to figure out how best to tweak things for next year. So just because the way things worked out this year doesn't mean it's set in stone. The last category for awarding today or tonight is the payload challenge, which goes to, there were 7 teams this year, I believe, that had payloads on their rockets. We had one of our judges, two of our judges, Sébastien Damé and Sahil Bali, walked around during the conference days to talk to each of the teams and figure out what your payload does, what it's supposed to do, how you approached sticking it on a rocket, and why it should be on a rocket instead of in a lab somewhere. And they went through their efforts to score the payload challenge along with the help of Robert Bernard, who reviewed all of your reports. And so the winner for this year of the payload challenge was an absolutely impressive project. So I'm just trying to load up the message here so that I can read off the feedback that Sébastien had had about this project in particular. So this payload stood out to our payload judges right from the beginning. With their final report, the pre-competition at the conference with the judging that went on, and all the effort that they put in, their approach was not only systematic from a design perspective, but also from an experimental perspective. And when they tried to figure out, okay, how is this payload supposed to work, what's it supposed to do, they constantly thought about the requirements and tying results that they would obtain from their flight back to their requirements. It helped that they had a successful flight. Well, I think everybody had a successful flight, or almost everybody had a successful flight this year. But they were able to actually run their experiment. The payload build itself was very well executed, and the quality stood out to our judges. On top of that, during their flight, the payload mission worked nominally in almost all aspects. The experiment itself was an interesting way of investigating the effects of microbes in the atmosphere via flying it in a rocket. And so the winners of the payload challenge this year is University of Alberta with USTAR.
Big check right now, but we don't have it. So I have a replacement rubber ducky for you. But yeah, the check is for $2,500. And now for the big trophy, we can invite Adam to the stand.
All right, so the grand prize trophy is always a difficult one to award because we've got such diversity of projects in so many different categories. So as always, this was a challenging one to decide on, but I think the winner this year really came through with not just one impressive project, but two of them. So our second ever awarding of the Launch Canada Trophy goes to the University of British Columbia.
You guys have to keep it safe for the whole year and bring it back in one piece.
We will.
Don't leave it near the liquid rocket when you're trying.
It was like driving that across the country and not breaking it.
And just one final note that for all of our other basic category teams, you also have a Pro 29 motor casing up here, so you can come up and claim your prize as well.
We also have the boxes for the awards here. That's it.
All right, back to you, Cyril.
All right, so see, we were honest, short and sweet. Once again, I don't think there's much I can add except congratulations. You can all be very proud of yourselves. Not only that, for what you've won today, what you're going to be able to bring back to your university, but the pictures, the memories, the data, and the autopsy of your rockets that you've recovered. So congratulations once again to all the teams. And so, since I myself have to start driving to Montreal now, I want to ask all of you to be very careful on the roads. You've launched rockets and had black powder and parachutes and explosives with you and all of that, and you wouldn't want a drive back to be the most dangerous part of your journey. So please be safe. It is dark. If you're going to sleep tonight, do it early. Don't drink too much if you do. And congratulations once again. Please be safe, and if you do have the time, maybe send a little text to your friends at UTAT, which are currently recovering their trailer. They had a little accident and they couldn't be with us tonight, but they're on the stream with us, and so congratulations to all the team and to UTAT as well. Congratulations. And this is officially the end of Launch Canada 2023, and I'm hoping to see you next year at Launch Canada 2024. All right. Safe drive.